Hey guys, Kono here. Today's match will be in the Nostalgic Knick Knack's first tournament of 2025. All the matches are going to be my Lucci deck versus all of my opponents, but I'll be posting them separately. Let's check it out. Alright, going into round 3 against another Shanks deck played by my friend Josh. It's interesting that even though I most certainly play against the same decks over and over again, decks like Blue Dofi, the Lucci Mirror, Bonnie, Shanks, NL, BY Luffy, and even some of the lower tier decks, you'll always notice a pilot difference every time. No matter how much people main that deck or not, some players are extremely predictable but some aren't. Some think outside the box and some are just very scripted. Now Josh here loves his TCG accessories. He doesn't have a shop I can tag yet, but notice I pointed at his own creation of the card holders we usually see in the East during their major competitions. Later on in the match, you'll see his other creations that were specifically made for his deck. Josh did win the dice roll, but he opted to go second. Alright, let's review these two leaders again. Shanks once per turn can be activated when their opponent attacks. This allows them to give any of their opponent's leader or characters on board minus 1000 even if they're not the ones attacking. Rob Lucci, when attacking, may trash the top 2 cards with their deck. This allows him to give minus 1 cost to any of their opponent's character on board. Yeah, we're just gonna fast forward a little bit here. During the mulligan, I did show Josh the Fire Fist I got from our buddy AJ that was in the Best Selection Volume 2 binder. It's such a nice art. It will be added to my red-blue Marco deck as I play the Rebel Army build. You know, the funny thing about this part is I was wondering why he's not passing. I thought Uta Searcher, maybe some tech blocker, but come find out he was thinking of attacking until he remembered it was still the first turn. Man, you know, I'm fine milling my top ends, but milling my cost reduction hurts my soul. On the first swing of the match, nonetheless. Now I've been wondering something. Early guarding with Shanks, I've seen both ways but still end up in the same conclusion, where they either have their cards or not. The feeling I get is, if they don't see their perfect draw towards Lucci, the match favors into Lucci. That kinda sucks, since you only really see the first 20 cards with the deck most games. I guess this is why he gets the nickname Honest. I could be wrong, to be honest myself, guys. Thoughts on this? And oh yeah, remember I was talking about accessories earlier? Here are his skills / minus N plus power tokens. I think this is cool. He also has a skill token for when he plays his Bonnie deck. Now for this turn there are a few plays. Swing 5k, then play Lucky Roo. Swing 6k, Uta Search, then leave 2 for Red Hawk. Swing 5k, Uta Red Hawk, swing 7k, Uta, or just swing 9k at me. It does look like the 9k swing to life, thus passing the turn to me. For this turn, I decided to play out Rebecca and Brooke. As I do know one or both of them will be KO'd next turn, a couple of things ran through my mind, including some of the obvious. I got a 2k. I have a blocker. I could set up a blocker for trash. I could set up Brooke for trash. He'll be on a 6-dawn curve next turn. There's nothing that can really hurt my play except Marco KOing Rebecca, leaving Brooke open. If he plays Rue, I'll block with Rebecca, then swing tall with Brooke, since he'll be KO'd anyways on Josh's 8-dawn curve by Rayleigh, or by Rue himself the turn before when he blocks. This last move would rip cards from his life and or hand. From the looks of his Dawn placement, the immediate thought was swing 7k, then play Lucky Roo. The question was, who's he swinging to? Either way, I was gonna block. Another good play would be playing the 5-cost Rush Ace from Starter Deck 15. Even though Shanks is not a Whitebeard pirate leader, that ace is hard to get rid of for us. You'll have to excuse me on this play. I cannot for the life of me decide whether to swing 9k with Brook and then 9k with Lucci, or just swing 8-8. I was contemplating on swinging 7k with Brook and 9k with Lucci, or just swinging 8-8. I did have another Brook in hand that was tempting to play, but then I remembered Ben Beckman and Newgate, which would make that move useless, so I just swung 8-8 tall. I know some of you people have those obvious plays, especially at 8 Dawn, with nothing on the field, so the answer would be probably Dragon. But also, Josh only has 4 cards in hand. It could be anything still. Maybe a pair of Lucky Ruin might be called out, who knows? Playing Yasop making Shanks a 6k leader is a good defensive and offensive move in my opinion. Seeing as I was on my 9 Dawn curve, even if I tried swinging 6k, Josh would just use the leader ability to put me back down to 5k, so I just attacked at base 5k and rested all my Dawn just to play my Gecko to get rid of Yasop. One would expect the 10-drop Shanks this turn, but it's like I said, he may or may not have it because of how small a red deck gets to see all their cards. As much as Josh is taking, we must remember, he is XO right now in a tournament trying to stay undefeated to be able to take the winner prize. So I'm sure everyone can relate, when the pressure is on, it's on. By playing Dragon, Josh was either going to try and take some guys off the field or attack face. Now I don't have too much experience playing Shanks, so what would you guys do in this situation? Swing face to rip cards out of my hand, go for the field, try to do both, or go on the defense? Getting rid of Brook is a smart choice, as he's able to give out a -1 while swinging. This makes it easier to pop things off the field, if he were to stay. I did misplay this turn. My plan was to swing with Lucci for 6k, Ice Age Dragon, then Gecko to Rebecca to Zoro to Brook clearing Dragon. But when I committed 2 Dawn to swing with Helmeppo, it was too late when I realized my mistake. Because I only realized this after I swung to life with Gecko that I needed those Dawns. So I just went with Gecko Rebecca Brook to fill the field again. Take note, when you see an opening like this against a Lucci deck, capitalize on it as best you can. The reason I say this is that if the Lucci player is doing their job right, you wouldn't have a board only attacking with leader each turn, unless you have a rush card or a sticky card played out. Still no Shanks drop. Could Rebecca be the reason? Cause he's been targeting her pretty often this match when he would just clear her regardless if he dropped Shanks. And if his target is Gecko, Shanks' ability will put him down to 8k, forcing me to block the Shanks hit with Rebecca and counter out a 2k against Dragon. But from the way this turn is going, it would be a 12k swing to Gecko, forcing two 2ks out of my hand. The only difference is, Beckman will be easier to take care of since his cost is 3 less than Shanks. Now my plan here was to swing and take out Dragon, then Kaido Beckman. I did give the -1 to Dragon just in case he countered out. Now I didn't think he'd counter out twice with so little in hand, but it worked out in the end, allowing me to still get rid of Dragon while ripping 3 cards from his hand and establishing a third big body on the field. Having 3 big bodies on the field, and him only having 3 cards in hand, it's only a matter of time before I start ripping through his life cards, unless he does something to change the tide of this match. But to be honest, even if he played Shanks this turn, it'd be a little too late because of the board state. I was gonna counter out, but I needed an Ice Age or a Tempest Kick to be able to clear both Shanks and Beckman off field while concentrating my attacks to life. So yes, you could say I gambled this turn. The thing that threw me off was that Josh redirected his attack plan to my Gecko instead of life. He would have ripped my entire hand out or take my last life, leaving me at 0, which is also Roger territory. Please excuse my wanting to keep my side tidy all the time since I have so much going on. I'm sure you guys noticed by now. So we're swinging 8k with Kaido, so we can move him out of the way for my third Gecko play. Now we're just slowly chipping away at cost with swings from Lucci and a dud swing from Brook after just to get his ability to minus cost from Shanks. My gamble didn't pay off as I got my second Ice Age from the top of my deck. Had I not drawn that, I would have swung into Beckman and KO'd Shanks with my first Ice Age, wasting attacks that I could have used at life. I did get other useful cards from my life though, but at what cost? Now with one blocker and one life, his only chance would be to KO Rebecca somehow while still swinging tall with leader and a rush card. Ideally the cards I'm talking about are the Rush Zoro and Sequake cards, but Shanks doesn't play Sequake. Another play would be the Luffy Rush card that bypasses blockers, but that's only if I take the first hit from lead. Judge! They're passing cards under the table? Just kidding. Now I do apologize again because I will have to fast forward this turn as it took quite a while to play out. Always remember to be respectful guys because this was at a tournament and pressure will get to you. Even though he dropped Lucky Roo, all I had to do was math out the next attack since Josh was at 0 life. He did leave 2 Dawn up, possibly bluffing with Red Hawk, but at this point in the game there's too much to deal with, and I pretty much have game. So the plan was to swing 9k first with my character Lucci because of Lucky Roo, then swing face with the rest of my geckos. He does use his leader ability, putting my character Lucci down to 8k, then actually countering out with Red Hawk. As soon as I saw that, out came a finger pistol making me 100% in the clear. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I would have a deck profile, but I'll have that ready at the end of all 4 rounds, so stay tuned.